Well, this is one of the kind of the biggest square in Turin, and it's one of the biggest in Europe. I think it was the second one they used to say, whatever. But now it's all open. But it used to be this giant car park, and there wasn't really that much. There was like a couple of cafes and stuff. And when they started redeveloping the area, and so this was the first bar that was really, a kind of meeting point for people, and it has really long opening times. So you used to always like pop by, and the design is quite interesting because it looks like a big flat, and over the years it's become quite popular place, and it's been mentioned in this book about the city and so on. It's quite symbolic for the city. So yeah, this is a riverbank, like the main riverbank, which is now pretty empty, but it's literally last year, I think the council shut down all these venues that used to be here. It was maybe like 13 venues, and it was the kind of place you would always end up at some point, especially obviously like nightlife wise. People are having to kind of a bit readjust their habits in that way. There's supposed to be like two triangles of like white and black energy, and they include cities that are on a river, on a big river. So the white energy one is Turin, Prague and Lyon, and like the black magic one, like energy one, is Turin, London and San Francisco. And so yeah, they call it like esoteric Turin. I think it's the oldest cafe in the city, and it's kind of famous for this kind of, it's called Vicerin, like kind of hot chocolate. There's a couple of really good nights. There's a couple of good nights that pretty much keep up to date with like all up and coming music and stuff. Obviously it's a lot smaller scene wise and other cities like Berlin or London. So obviously the Explosiva guys now are doing this big, have been doing this festival for the last 13 years. They always have events they put on. There's a couple of really big festivals also in the summer.
The biggest opportunity is the festival, is the Club to Club, because there's not a proper scene, electronic music scene here. So it's quite hard, because the internet, thanks God, and it's not easy to do work, to make music here in Italy. The latest 5 years, it's like going down and down and down. There's just few clubs, because they close all the river area. The major closed it, and so there's just 3 or 4 clubs in the city.
We're at night at this fair called Artissimo, which is, I think it's like the 20th edition or so, and it's a pretty big contemporary art fair. And I think it's got about 190 galleries that are, exhibiting. I think it's also single artists. I think through maybe high fees, and so they still get introduced through galleries. Actually nearby there's also another really big fair called Paratissimo, which is a kind of more open, kind of free kind of fair where all artists sort of sign up and go to. The way I got into clubbing in Turin, like when I was a kid pretty much, I was a lot younger than everyone else. And I think the good moment in which I got into clubbing electronic music was that there was the free party scene, and there was a couple of really big, like kind of bigger clubs that had more commercial sort of, lineups and stuff. But the DJs and producers were kind of coming from both. There was the two worlds were kind of together. So a lot of people who DJed at free parties years before were like playing in clubs alongside, opening for, I don't know, Jeff Mills or like bigger DJs. And so I always used to hear about this record shop. I didn't DJ at the time or anything, so I didn't really come over here, but it was really the name that you would know. Like people used to go here, and a lot of those DJs that still play out, who don't necessarily only buy online, still come here and buy records. And yeah, I think it's the only shop that has this variety of genres. It's a bit more specific.
Adesso siamo specializzati in tutto ciò che è elettronica, in tutto ciò che comunque è super underground, quindi se in questo momento qua vendiamo molta musica sperimentale, industriale, field, contemporanea. Chiaramente la techno e l'house comunque sono le colonne portanti che comunque ti fanno mangiare, tra virgolette, insomma. Però ciò che prediligiamo noi comunque è ciò con cui siamo partiti, quindi musica industriale, minimal synth, wave, eccetera, eccetera. Le nostre culture sono quelle, le nostre radici sono quelle, essendo comunque Torino una città industriale.
E praticamente io ho iniziato a collaborare con Claudio nel 2004 e quindi poi da lì la voglia di crescere ci ha fatto sviluppare questo portale online in modo per poter avere più visibilità per quello che riguarda il discorso dei prodotti che trattiamo e per poterli distribuire in tutto il mondo. Questa è stata l'idea. Poi da lì chiaramente noi vendiamo un prodotto molto forte, vendendo il prodotto molto forte e avendo questo canale di visibilità siamo riusciti ad ottenere degli ottimi risultati in pochissimo tempo.